Part of the fun of owning a BMX in the 1980s was customising it. Whether you had a cheap entry-level bike or the latest high-tech lightweight racing machine from the USA or Japan, there was always something new that you could buy to make your bike lighter, faster or more colourful. If your bike came with steel wheels, you could add some lightweight Araya 7X alloys, some colourful Skyways, or even some ACS Z rims which flexed under pressure and then returned to their original shape, if you were lucky. You could change your seat for the latest Japanese race saddle by Kashimax, Alina or Ariake, or upgrade your one-piece crank to a cool racing three-piece. Add some Japanese alloy V-bars or classic CW racing flat tops. However, if you were upgrading on a budget, there were other cheaper ways to make your rides stand out. In the early 80s, we didn't snap many frames or handlebars doing wheelies or jumping off curbs and doing bunny hops, but we did ride a lot, and that meant that parts got worn out quickly. Tyres then were a common upgrade. It was likely that your bike originally came with black tyres, so it was a good opportunity to add some colour to your ride. In those days you could get almost any colour tyre you liked: red, blue, white, yellow, pink or green. Or you could go for the all-time classic white wall freestyle tyre, which looks strangely similar to the tyres your mum had on her shopping bike. Handlebar grips also needed replacing regularly, and there was a lot of choice, including Ames, Oakleys, and even ones shaped like cobras. If you didn't like having gritty balls, bearings that is, you could add a colourful OD mushroom bearing cap to your bottom bracket. Pad sets were another cool way to add bling to your bike. Most BMXs in the 80s came with their own three-piece pad sets for the top tube, stem and crossbar. It was a strange and fairly pointless health and safety exercise for an age of very little health and safety, as they offered little to no protection if you fell off your bike. But the best thing was, if you couldn't afford a Kuwahara or a Redline, you could afford a Kuwahara or a Redline pad set, and from a distance it might just look like you were actually riding one. The checkerboard look was another old school classic. Pedals were another important upgrade back in the day, and there was one that was always top of the wish list: the legendary Shimano DX, a classic platform that came in a variety of colours, and again, if you couldn't afford the real thing, there were plenty of cheaper alternatives such as Whirlgos, which looked the same at a glance. But perhaps one of the most popular BMX upgrades in the 80s was the race plate. They were used by real pros to display their race numbers and were a very cool addition to your old school ride. Probably not the most aerodynamic one in hindsight, but very cool nonetheless. You started off with a blank plate and then customise it with your own choice of stickers and numbers. You could get cheap plates or pro spec ones, and some of these exchange hands for a lot of money these days. So there you have it, that's how we did it in the 80s. Thanks for watching.